Hi everybody, I'm Mike Williams, and today I'm going to be doing a demonstration for you on the proper way to clean and take care of a handgun, as well as the proper way to store it. A couple of things, just for time's sake, I have decided I broke down this weapon that I have. It's a Sig Sauer P250 compact 45 caliber semi-automatic pistol. And I've broken it down into 5 different pieces here. I'm going to clean each of those pieces and show you the proper way to clean them and put the gun back together to ensure that you understand properly how to take care of a weapon if you do have one or you're thinking about getting one. For starters, the things that I'm using rim oil, comes from Remington. It's really good stuff. I've used it for every gun that I've had, and it cleans chemicals and keeps corrosion from building up inside of weapons, and it's a great product, and you can find that at Remington.com. There's other information about how to use it, but I'll get to that here in just a second. There's also a thing called Hops Elite Gun Cleaner that you put on to help erode away certain things that can corrode inside of the gun as well. And you use these for different purposes. This is the actual cleaner, and the rim oil is the finish that you put on afterwards. So I'm going to get started here. As I mentioned, Remington.com for this, and Hops Elite. This is something you can get at your local Walmart. There are other reviews online as well. But I'm going to start off by taking the main portions of this gun. I always like to take like one piece, for instance, here, the actual barrel of the gun. You want to make sure that you clean the inside of this gun very thoroughly, or the barrel, I should say, thoroughly. Around like so, and let it sit for a minute so that way it can soak up all the corrosion and everything that's going on inside. And then there's another piece here that goes underneath of the barrel. You'll see momentarily that how that works. And then there's this piece that's the spring. Inside the spring, it's going to go with this screw as well, or the bolt, I should say. I'm going to spray all those off, and then there's going to be an extremely important part of cleaning is the inside of the slide. And right here, as you can see, there's a piece of metal right here that's very important that it gets cleaned, because it's where your firing pin is, and your firing pin is a very important part of taking care of your gun. And I like to really make sure that it gets cleaned thoroughly inside and whatnot, because it can make a difference in your gun firing and not firing. So as I'm cleaning here, I'm doing this rather quickly for the demonstration. Usually you would want to do this a lot more thorough, but for the demonstration, we'll leave it at that. The last piece here that I had mentioned earlier is the inside of the actual gun. This trigger does come all the way apart, but for what I'm doing right now, I'm just going to leave it in there and show you the process of how this works. So I sprayed down in here to help get the corrosion out of the inside of this firearm. I did shoot this the other day, so it has a little bit of dirt and grease inside of it. And I saved it for you all so you could see me clean this inside for my speech. So as you can see, the inside, you want to get every little nook and cranny. And as you can see, a lot of erosion and dirt that's been in there from the gunpowder of the firearm as it fired. The last time I fired it. So cleaning out all this, and like I said, you want to be much more thorough if you're actually doing it, but for this purpose I'm just going to do it this way. Once you get through all the pieces, you want to go through and you want to clean off all these pieces as well after you've let them sit for a moment or two. And then once you do that, a very important piece inside the barrel is what determines your gun and how it fires, especially with how much cleanliness there is inside of the actual tube here, so to speak. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push through. You can see there's all kinds of dirt on the side of that barrel right there, so it's very important that you clean the inside of that very thoroughly. And if I look down through there, I can see that it's been cleaned out. It looks much better. I did have a bit of a problem the last time that I shot. It did jam up a little bit, so I wanted to make sure that I got the barrel extra clean this time, or it appeared to be wanting to jam. So now, from this circumstance, just because of time, I'm going to go ahead and say you're going to do the exact same process with the rim oil. And the rim oil, as they mentioned on shooterschoice.com, rim oil is the best product you can use because it puts a nice coat that protects the gun and whatnot on the outside, as well as the inside. You're going to do the exact same thing, let that sit for a little while, and then you're going to wipe the whole thing down, and then you can put it back together once you get everything taken care of. But real quickly, I'm going to go ahead and put this gun back together for you so you can see the process of how it works. Imagine this has already been shined by the rim oil, and you can see I'm going to take the slide here and place the slide back in here, or the bolt, the spring I should say, inside the slide. But first we have to put the barrel back inside the gun. Like so. And from that point, we have the spring as well, as if the gun had never been taken apart before. Once this happens, you've got everything in place of these three parts, so you want to actually put the slide back on the weapon. So it goes on like so. And right now it's a bit loose because it hasn't been tightened. I'm going to want to push this back up here. Slide down the lever for the slide release. Now the weapon is functionable, and this magazine's not loaded. I don't have any weapons in there. But if you leave the chamber open like this, make sure there's nothing inside. Put the magazine in here and close the chamber. Now the gun's back to working order. In the BuehlemanFiles.com, they also talk about the importance of gun safety, and for my third source, I wanted to talk a little about that just for a second here. And that's the fact is, it's always important, unless you have to, never carry around in the chamber, because it could accidentally go off, especially if you don't have a safety. If you have a safety, you shouldn't carry one in the chamber, or have the safety on at the same time. So right now, I don't have a shell or a bullet, so to speak, inside of the gun. But you always want to make sure that you have a holster that you can put the gun in that's going to keep it safe, where there's no way that the trigger's going to go off. Safety first. So I hope that you've learned something from my demonstration here, and hopefully it's something you can remember, and hopefully if you're interested you can take a look yourself and find out more about it. Thanks.